Hello, hi, it's your boy, the one and only Yellow Bone, Dimpie Dimpopo. Oring iemand die onkosie aan my maak leeg wat vol is, maak vol wat leeg is, maak nat wat droog is, dit af wat anders, maak donker wat lig is, maak pyl wat skoon is. It's the one and only Lattice and mayonnaise.
Yes. Okay.
Your boy, the handsomest dude of all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Bushi Podcast. Hier wat ons krap, maar dit is juk nie. And before I continue, ek gaan eers vir my eie deur vee. And some of the members that are on the podcast today is in winter. With a jacket on, a hoodie.
It is very cold.
It
is very cold. It is very chilly. And you know this.
What's happening? Do you need to go and test?
No, I'm just getting cold.
We need to put 2 rands by.
No,
Don't start with your stereotypes, babe.
Okay,
Thanks.
Not sure.
But the jersey, I don't know so warm. I mean, come on.
As warm in die container, yeah.
Yeah?
But not outside.
Oh, it's cold outside.
It's cold outside.
Okay, sorry.
You must pink so you're warm-blooded.
Daar begin ek. Jy sien hoe kom van waar af kom ek. So I waited for my opportunity. And I'm not pink, I'm multi-colored. Colored, ne? Colored, ne? I'm not.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, that's Shana May. It's her month this month of May, ne?
Yes, the month of May.
It's her month.
It's my month.
Anyway, guys, make sure that you do let your uncle, opa, ama, laat ama weet. Follow us on all social media platforms. TikTok is Bushi Podcast. On Instagram is official Bushi Podcast. And on Facebook is Bushi Podcast. And also exciting news. Thank you guys so much for subscribing on our YouTube channel. We love and appreciate you guys. But without any further ado, we have an athlete in the book. She ran marathons. She won trophies for the country. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, my sister from another mother, from another father, Miss Blackway. Can you guys please make some noise? Woo!
That is Mrs.
Oh, Miss.
Don't forget the Mrs.
Okay,
It's
so
very
Miss
important.
means you alone, and Mrs. means you with someone.
Yes, you togetherness.
Oh, that's why I say I miss you. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, mom mistake.
Okay, sorry guys. I just laughed into the mic and that was the first thing they said we shouldn't do.
Is it?
Dimpie, you're already messing up the entire thing for me. Please.
Sorry.
Control.
We honor
Control.
you.
Thank
It's
you.
an honor to have you here.
Thank
It's an
you.
honor to have you. It's a blessing to have you on the Bushi Podcast. So just let us know about who you are for the people that are first time watchers and for the people that are tuning in for the first time. Let us know who you are and where you come from. Okay, I know you come from Boksburg, but let us know where you come from.
So good evening everyone. I am Sharney Blackway. I am one of the OGs from when Bushi Podcast started.
The founder.
No.
Founding fathers.
I'm definitely not the founder. We give all the credits to Justin. He called us in about a year ago and he said, listen, this is the idea that I have, and we showed up.
Yeah, from the dusty streets of Eden Park, he called us. He said, these are the kids for you.
Yeah, Sharney. Who is Sharney? Sharney loves people. I am firstly God-fearing. That's my identity. I love God. I am a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a baby mama. Yeah, and I come from Boksburg, like you said, born, raised in the East Rand, moved around a lot. But most importantly, I am in love with the colored culture. I love how it's evolving and how we are celebrating instead of breaking down. So yeah, that is basically who Sharney is. I love people and I love growth.
Amen. You believe like we believe in colored excellence, no, Shana?
Absolutely.
Right. So it's not a bad thing, but thank you so much for coming. Before we dwell deeper into it, I just want to give Shana an opportunity to tell us about her bad day at work.
Hi, Mo. So why am I showing our podcast? My bad day at
Let me
work.
know because there's a lot of people that's gonna watch it. Also has a bad day. We all have our bad days at work, guys.
Hey, guys,
Ken hy daar wat jy lus het vir niks nie. Jy het lus vir niemand as jy by die huis kom nie. So Shana, what happened?
It was just a rough day. We have those days, right?
What is a rough day?
Clients, yo.
Clients,
Yes, but it's fine.
machine die hele tyd druk. Jou kos gaan af aan die friction. Wat gaan aan?
No, it's just a rough day with clients, very aggressive, demanding clients, but I'm professional.
No, I trust you. And you look very smart, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Nah.
Thank you.
Do you have social media?
This is not about me.
You have social... No, I just wanted to
about
find out. Do you have
everyone.
social media?
I do. You can follow me on TikTok, Shana May. Instagram, it's the Shana Mayo. I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't have a YouTube channel, but you can watch me on the Bushi Podcast.
Oh, brilliant.
Thank you.
Sharney.
Back to the main
Back
course.
to the main, daar is 'n mis. Nee, voor vergeet, nee.
Jy dit weer mis. Dis wat jy het. Mis.
Mis.
Soos jou Engels, nee, ja, Engels, né?
As Engels.
Your English.
It's very good, nee? Okay, anyway.
Wrong spy, brother. Next time.
Sharney, right? Let us know or take us through your journey ever since I haven't been part of the podcast. Like you said earlier, you were part of the, what do you call the OGs of the podcast.
Started.
When it started, and that's true. We really honored your presence here on the podcast as well. But we want to know how's things been, or what has the movement been for you ever since the podcast, or you ended the, I won't say relationship, but the
Why am I
chain
so
with the podcast.
Okay.
What you've been up to, just take us through that, because you look very good though.
Thank
You
you.
look very good.
Where do I begin?
Peter van de Ballspeler.
Where do I begin? Okay, so first of all, as many might know me as Sharney Blackway on the socials.
Yes.
I basically have offered my life to volunteering for cancer patients. I've also done a lot of work in ministry, which is something that I'm very passionate about. And one of the reasons why I had to now decide if I'm going to separate my time or just give this side up and then go back into that full time. So basically, that was my situation and why I was off the screens with Bushi Podcast. So Bushi will always be family for me. And, you know, you guys have an amazing soft spot in my heart. And I always would appreciate the growth and the amazing people that I've met on this podcast.
It's so mature. Hoor. Ek dink nou gaan bang om
That's what
jokes-
happens when
I'm
you
even
God
scared to make
fearing.
jokes with her and stuff like that. Like, yeah.
The thing is, I think as someone that has fought cancer twice, you know, I was
Would
thinking
you like
back.
us to take us through the journey as well?
Okay, I'm going to do it shortly, right? Because everything you can still find on the socials. At 28, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I then fought throughout that journey, and that's where I met the amazing Justin Jacobs, which is the founder of Bushi Podcast and Bushi Clothing. And we did a few interviews in a community that I come from, and he was like, okay, we need to do something bigger, which is what we did. And while we were actually shooting, I looked very similar to what I look today. I told him I'm not feeling well. Something is wrong, and I need to go and see the doctor, right? And we had another shoot in the East End at that time, and I fell ill. And I came immediately from a hospital visit, and then I came to shoot Bushi. And there's still videos of me with the plaster on, where they had drawn blood and stuff and done tests. And we had found out 5 weeks after I was cleared from the breast cancer and going through treatment, losing all my hair and documenting that on my social media, that the cancer had spread to my brain. So throughout that, you know, the Bushi team was amazing during my recovery period. You guys really made, I remember coming out of surgery and I was in ICU and I spoke to Mr. C first. He cried. But Justin actually, no, Justin actually shaved his head. Because I had to remove all my hair again for the brain surgery.
support, yeah.
Yes. So he came to my house the day before that. And that's why I say we family, right? And like brothers and sisters, we don't see each other for a while, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that you guys are doing even better than what we were doing. So I love that for you. So yes, I survived the brain cancer as well, and we recently found out that I am in remission again. So at the end of February, I was told that all is clear and that yes. So now we are more than excited for what's to come, because I feel like my story always carries more weight with all the struggles. It's sad, but when you are going through something like what I went through, it's always hard to understand what someone else feels if you haven't been in their
Correct.
shoes. And that is why I chose to use my story for a platform similar to Bushi's,
Like a
but just not,
testimony.
not everyone would be watching this and resonate with my story. So I feel like I just needed to invest more time in that. So yeah, that's basically where
Before
Shanae's been.
before you continue, ne, Shana, ne,
Mm,
I think personally, coming from my side, and I think anyone can testify for the fact that you're a living testimony of a
amen.
lot of things. With what you have said now, and what we have heard that, and what we've seen that you've been through,
Yeah.
you're actually someone that we can come to and say, listen here, this is someone that's been through certain things. This is someone that's never given up on certain things. You get what I'm trying to say? So
Amen.
me personally, I can use that as a motive. Sorry if it sounds like that, but I can
Yeah.
use your life as a motivation to myself, as to
Amen.
listen that there's people that actually goes through certain things that's out of your control.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say? And by the grace of God, ek sê altyd mense, it
Amen.
doesn't matter how hard it is or how tough it is, goed te gaan regkom op die einde
Yeah.
van die dag.
Yeah.
Goed te gaan balance.
Yeah.
Môre by die werk gaan jy beter voel.
Hou op met jou.
Goed te gaan
And
balance.
now you know why I didn't call you when I was in ICU. Jy sou my gegwarra dit van ek
Ah,
kon nie.
Charlie,
you
I
let
get
me
that.
with it.
Maar my piesakkie, ek het maar 500,000 mense het gesien my piesakkie, my pie is geel. Jy sou dit nou nie gevat het as my suster doen goed. Kyk hoe baie sappie, kyk hoe geel is sappie.
wat het jy gedrink?
Limonere, hoe sê Renay? Wat?
Wat?
Moenie worry oor my nie. Worry oor hoe niere. You know? That's wat ek vir jou gebel, broer, nou weet
I
jy.
actually wanted to ask you a question.
Yes, babes.
The first time that you were diagnosed with cancer, right? You said it was you found it in your breast.
Yes.
When you found out, did they tell you what stage you were? And then when you found out about it moving from your breast to your brain, did they also tell you what stage it was as well? Or was it the same stage?
Okay. All of this is according to doctors, right? With me, spiritually, I believe that I'm healed and I will be healed for the rest of my life,
Amen.
regardless of what I face.
Hallelujah.
First of all, when it came to the breast, I was misdiagnosed 5 times.
Yo.
So because Dimpie said I ran in a marathon, that's not
I was just
100%
making
true,
sure
but I
you
was
are.
very active,
Okay.
right? So I was misdiagnosed and we found out that it was in the breast. I don't wanna get emotional because it's such an amazing thing to be on this side compared to what I used to go through. But anyways, so yeah, the situation was crazy. I did not expect it. And
And at 28.
at 28, right? I was literally I felt like I was in the prime of my life and I was doing amazing things with not only social media, but my career was doing amazing. The year that I was diagnosed, I was supposed to go and start studying for my degree, and
Okay.
I just couldn't. But anyways, to your point, yes, so with the breast surgery, it was something that I can't explain it, and I want you guys to always remember that when you hear someone else's story, look at life in this light. Like Dimpie said, yes, we go through it now. It's not the end of the world, right? And don't think the worst. I have an amazing support, and I say an amazing support. My husband has been there throughout the journey, right? So when I was diagnosed with cancer, the first time, he stuck with me, right? I had this big hair and all of that. And I was stressed out because financially it's a burden. Physically it was a burden. Emotionally it's a burden. And all of a sudden, what you could do for others, you can't do anymore. So it was a huge adjustment for me. I would say with the brain surgery, that was a bit different. I feel like I felt a bit more experienced when it came to my journey now.
Okay.
I knew which doctors to phone. I knew where to go to if I had certain questions. I knew how the treatment would feel more or less. So if that answers your question.
It does. It does, yeah.
In terms of the stage
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, stage.
Yeah, I wanted to know, is it what
sorry.
stage?
I had
3?
brain surgery. I forget some of the details that you
no,
asked
no.
me.
Yeah.
No,
There's a lot on
so
my
for
mind.
stage,
Dimpie.
for stage, that's what I wanted to start with this. Guys, this is basically just according to doctors, right? Whoever is going through this journey, please don't allow this to control your life because it's going to sound scary. Disclaimer. Trigger warning to everyone that's in here because I don't think I've ever said this on screen. So when I was diagnosed with the breast, it was the most aggressive form and one of the rarest forms of breast cancer, which is triple negative, and it was stage 2. So the chances of this spreading is very high, and at my age, because of the fact that my hormones is all over the place, blah 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 blah. Okay, with the brain, when cancer spreads from one place to another place, it is determined according to doctors and according to science that it is stage 4.
Okay.
So stage 4 is the end. There's no after stage 4. Stage 4 is the last part. So stage 4 is basically like in my case, one of my doctors had mentioned palliative care. So the treatment that I received on my brain cannot be done again. So it's almost like I always joke about it, but it's almost like a morning after pill. If you've done it once, we know some people don't do it more than once, but people do it more than once. But if you had a morning after pill,
No, but like Xanax.
yeah. So no.
You do it more than once.
So I think that was stage 4. If everyone hears cancer, stage 4, it was a crazy time. You know, if you were there, those that were in the room with me many times and they had gotten news about the brain, it was a crazy one, right? Because I'm someone that would love to think that I would think on my feet, and I thought that it would somehow affect my IQ or something. Because I've always been known as a bright person. I don't want to be arrogant or anything, but yeah, I do a lot with my brain. So it was crazy.
Can I just ask something? So,
Yes, babes.
I don't want to jump off the topic, but like I said earlier, we actually grateful that you are actually well. You look very good. For someone that has went through those kind of things, you look very good. And as I said earlier, you're a living testimony for people that actually also go through it, that it is possible to not only make it out, but it is possible to live your best life.
Amen.
You understand? Especially with, like you say, with the right treatments and the right attention and a supportive husband also as well.
Yeah.
A supportive partner also plays a very important role
Yeah.
in such situations. So I just wanted to go back quickly because I overheard you say earlier something about screen. And then I just noticed that you are actually on TV screen a lot nowadays. As a it's been a while now, ne?
Yeah.
You doing ads, you doing you're doing ads, you're doing shows,
Yeah.
interviews on TV as well. How's that journey been for you, and where did that start for you?
I think even before Bushi and before the
You was
cancer
actor.
diagnosis, no, I have been a public figure for
Nice.
I think since 2021. I was a weight loss coach,
Okay.
and the big story, I dropped from a size 44 to a size 30 in under 7 months, and I've been maintaining it for so many years. And then the cancer came. So basically, my niche was thrown on my lap, and I did a few newspapers. Then I did
Like
ENCA.
articles.
I did articles. I
Oh,
did
nice.
some. I think I did. Yeah, I
It's
did
been
some TV.
something
Yeah.
that's been coming on for a while
So
now.
public figure has always been there. I think the emphasis on the cancer diagnosis and the fact that I had been through that was one of the things that obviously just sped it up. I think with every artist, it's always been a thing of mine to be an artist. And I lost the weight. That is what was my niche. And then the cancer came. So yes, I do a lot of on-screen work. I've done Moja Love. I've done TBN
nice.
twice. I've done the
So
news.
what's your which one, Mojala? Sorry for like pay back the
Oh.
money or
No,
that's all a nine.
it was no
Because there's a
Dimpie.
lot of shows that sell Mojala, ne? Which one
Okay.
specifically? Like,
I don't know. I can't say because it's in the neck.
oh,
But
nice,
it's
nice.
Dominic. You know,
Dominic Zaza.
Yes.
Okay.
So Dominic Zaza was part of. It was with Innocent and them. What was that show's name? But it was a group of.
Backstage.
No man.
Backstage is die jaren, hè?
It was a group of, I would say, people that were homosexual, if I can
Okay.
say that. And they basically just shared their story. So I was one of the people that was part of a series on the reality show with
Oh,
Dominic.
nice.
So there's been a lot of things, but yeah, since the
then
cancer.
sorry. And then the thing I saw on your social media now recently, that I think is on DSTV, ne? Is it the same one you're talking about?
TBN, no.
TBN.
So-
So run us through that as well, because I've seen you've posted something as well. Or is
Yeah.
it- you can't disclose anything.
No,
about
I
it?
can. It's already live, so it's advert. So what I do now, we have one. I have an advert for All Life. That's
Nice.
also around the cancer. So, like I said,
Is it
my
brilliant,
niche
hè?
has shifted. So I'm on an advert. Kyk net en kie. So it's Afrikaans and English. My husband always teases, ek is 30. But yes, I did an advert for All Life, which would go out through for the whole year. And that was an amazing project that I worked on, and I really, really had so much fun. The production team was amazing, so that was good. And then TBN, I've been to their studios. So TBN is, I would say, a Christian channel. I think if you grew up in a colored home on a Sunday morning, your mother will switch on TBN. You know, that's where we listen to CC Winans. That's where we listen
As in
to
hoe die-
sermons
die
from
jare
Ray.
terug, no?
No, it's still on, right?
Still plays.
So TBN
Yeah, it still plays.
was the big one, but now they have TBN Africa. And how it actually happened was with TBN, they contacted me. I went through last year and I went to the studio. I had that red dress on. I don't know if you'll see it on my socials. And this time they said, okay, because the show did so well, we would like to come to your house. So they came to our house and they did an advert. Remember I told you about the international thing that I'm
Yes,
doing?
yes,
So
yes.
TBN was started in America. So my
yeah,
family
yeah.
is say most of the people in my family that watched it actually was very excited about that. So they wanted me to share my story about how my family and TBN has been connected throughout the years and how I got introduced to TBN. So that's another advert which would play continually, and then we'll have a huge episode, I think for 27 minutes, that I will also share. But it's played on the 25th, and on the 28th it will play again at I don't know, right? Slow.
What a way of promoting yourself. I don't know.
Go to the socials, guys.
But big up for you for joining the TV industry, especially in terms of ads and things. Would you like to do movies, maybe venture into other things as well, or is it for now choose those ads?
Guys, all I'm going to say is, I would love to act. I would love to be on the screen. That was definitely always a dream of mine, to be behind the screen and basically do what I love. However, I'm at the point in my life where ons beplan maar die Here bestuur.
Yeah, true.
Amen.
So if
amen.
that's God's will, then by all means, I will accept it with both arms. It is definitely something that I pray about a lot, and I've actually worked on that with some of the people behind the scenes, but it's not set in stone or anything like that. So call me if you want to.
Shana?
In regards to, okay, so you said that you open to on-screen acting and all
Yes,
of that,
yes.
and obviously the more exposure you get, the more people will know you. You'll rise to fame and things like that. Do you think that at this stage in your life you'll be able to handle what comes with fame? Do you think you'll be able to handle, because obviously the bigger that your platform gets, you will receive more love, but you also get that negativity around your image and who you are as a person, even though you're
Vibes.
portraying
Vibes.
even though you're portraying positivity, you know what I'm saying?
No, I
so
get
do
it.
you think that if you had to be exposed on a larger scale like that, would you be able to handle what comes with that?
All I can say is this is a doggy dog world. So regardless of where you step in, if you have been following my journey, you would know that I have shared many vulnerable moments, and
ready with me.
not, I lost my hair on TV. I lost my hair. It was broadcasted all over And I think the one video actually got about 3 million views of my hair that was literally falling off from my scalp. So I have been very vulnerable on screen. And like humans, we don't always, I want to say this so I don't sound rude, but we don't always treat people with the compassion that we expect from others. So I have learned to not take offense, and I pray about this every day when it comes to these type of things. And I know that whatever you are going through, that's your issue. And if you are saying that to me, you are projecting your image on me, and that is none of my business.
Nothing to do with
So, yes, I'm not saying that I'm immortal and nothing's going to happen to me. And I've seen the worst of worst when it comes to social media bullying. But I feel like I've had quite a few things that if someone had asked me a year ago, would you be able to handle that? I would have said no. But by the grace of God, I feel like whatever happens, life is life. And I'm just ready to take it on, regardless of what
People
comes
say,
with the
okay.
territory of acting and being on the screens and the fame that we all know.
Okay, so
Thank you for answering that
No
question.
problem,
it's like I
babes.
was ready to ask her something again. I don't know how much time we still have left, but just like also in a nutshell, how's your journey been? Because I've heard you've mentioned God a lot. How's your journey of experience been with God in your life?
Oh, I, guys, I don't think anyone will ever be able to
Right.
explain, right? I was saved in 2022. So while I was on Bushi, I was saved, as you guys know. I know we're a crazy team, but there was a lot of things that I did not do. And I
Yes.
didn't want to throw my faith onto anyone and make you guys feel a certain way, even though you picked it up the day I walked in. You always spoke to me like I'm your pastor.
Yeah.
And
Is
there
it
was a
bad?
point where you were Muslim, and I'm like, okay, yes, yes, may Allah be with you. And
Yeah,
talking
that-
bati. But I think my journey with God has been the best decision that I've ever made in my
Amen.
life. It has not only made me look at life differently, but it has definitely improved the way that I look at myself. And I feel like that has created something in me that has become even more unstoppable. And I can only thank God for the strength and the grace and the mercy and the love that I receive from people outside of my own circle, and for being mentioned in rooms that I never imagined. And just the blessing of being with God has changed the way I help others
What
as
they do
well. I've always loved
tremendously.
helping people, but I think I'm at the point where I feel like I should do more. And that is why I volunteer at places like Bara. And
Oh,
yeah, remember I
nice.
told you I go to the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
hospitals
yeah.
now? So I volunteer at hospitals, and I never thought that I would do things for free, because I'll just be like, I don't work for free, guys. I don't know. And then life happens and you're like, oh, God will bring you to your senses.
And
So
how
yeah,
humble and good is that?
love that.
I have a question.
Yes, babes.
When you were diagnosed with cancer,
Yes.
okay, so my mom, she also had breast cancer. She fought that. She was in stage 3 when she had breast cancer. And she had one of her breasts removed. It was her right breast. She was in remuneration for about 2 years. She did chemo, but chemo took a heavy toll on her. So it's actually, I actually want to ask you it like in two parts. So number one, what was your treatment? And then number two, my question that I had when my mom was diagnosed with cancer was, why her? You sit there and you wonder, why me? Why was I tasked with this?
Yeah.
Did you have that questions like in terms of your faith? Did you have that discussion with God? Like, why did you choose me? Especially with the trajectory that your career was going in.
Yeah.
And now you've got to deal with cancer.
Yeah.
And it's not just you dealing with cancer, it's everyone around you, your loved ones that's gonna have to take that on.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
If you don't mind me asking, how's your mom doing?
she passed away.
I'm so sorry,
It's okay.
babes. I'm so
I'm able to
sorry.
talk about it now.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
actually,
think
it's actually the first time, ne?
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
first time I'm actually hearing it.
I have that effect on people. So first of all, the treatment plan was crazy. because it is such a rare and aggressive form of cancer, they don't technically know what helps. So they throw everything on you, right? So when I was diagnosed, I'd already gone through the surgery. So they had removed, like I said, I was misdiagnosed 5 times. So they removed the lump. So that was the first treatment. So they removed the lump on the 10th of January 2023. And then on the 16th of January 2023, I was diagnosed with the cancer. So remember, I now went through the surgery. I'm diagnosed on the 16th. On the 17th, I had to be rushed back to surgery because they need to now insert a chemo port and they have to so what a chemo port is, I think most people would know, is instead of using our veins, they now put something into the main artery of your heart where the drip will go directly. So you won't have to collapse, your veins won't collapse and all of that. Especially because of the type of cancer that I had. It was very, like I said, aggressive again. And I don't say this to scare people. I say this because I love educating people about what we can expect, right? So the first thing they did after that surgery was chemo. I had 16 rounds of the most aggressive form of chemo in the world, which was the red devil. And then we call it the red devil, but we call it, most people call it the blood of Jesus, which is crazy because that thing will take you out, babes. I think that was your experience, like you said, with your mom. The chemo is crazy, right? And then I went for radiation, for 31 rounds of radiation on my chest. So, because the radiation was on the left side, which is where your heart is, and that is where most common cancers are, when it comes to the breast, they had to do deep breath radiation. So, it was an advanced type of radiation that I went in. You go every single day for 31 days, besides weekends, but it takes a huge toll on your body. So, then, yes. And then I went for double mastectomy, so I lost both my tatas. I don't know if I can say breast on here, but blade out if you can't.
Twins.
Yes, no, mine was more like brothers in Christ. I never had twins, eh? So when I lost it, I was just like, you know what, babes? Good riddance, because my baby said they looked like they were sleeping anyway. So, I might as well just forget about it. So then in between all of that, I still had a surgery. So I had, in total for the past 2 years, I've had 7 surgeries.
Oh.
And then that includes now the brain surgery after they found out about the surgery. That's another form of treatment. And then I had brain radiation, which is whole brain radiation. So they put radiation on my entire brain, which basically means that I could have either lost my memory, and I'm very prone to, according to doctors, right? We rebuke it in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen.
I'm like most people in our cases, they would come on with Alzheimer's like at 40. So that is like just my treatments that I've had over the years.
So I wanna ask you, guys, by a tipo, and I
Yes,
can see
Keith.
the fact that Shana can relate to exactly what you're saying, and she's even feeling some type of way, ne?
Of course,
Yeah.
Constant
It's
reminder.
yeah.
especially once you've experienced it or lived with someone that went through such situation. I just want to ask in conclusion, like with everything you've said now, is that we're very proud of you for being the strong woman that you are, yourself as well, Shana, for keeping your head up and keep pushing. In conclusion, I just want to ask from both of you guys, if it's possible, any person that's watching or listening, just one or two words of motivation, especially for those ones that feel like this is the end of the world, or you want to give up, or you're experiencing the same thing now, you don't know what to do, where to go to. Just kind of inspiration, something before we conclude.
Cannot die before you die, bruh. I refuse to die before I die. I don't look like my problems, and I will not die before I die. No matter
In
what.
Afrikaans is really like sushi problems.
I refuse.
Shana, Shana?
I would say, in terms of what I experienced with my mom and what she went through as a cancer patient, is that appreciate life.
Mm-hmm.
You are so you're so prone to thinking you have tomorrow. You don't. It is by the grace of God that you wake up the next day. You have to be positive, even though life can be crappy. And also make sure you nurture the relationships around you that is important to you. It is absolutely, you heard the saying, it takes a village, and it really takes a village. I used to be so hyper independent, thinking I don't need anyone, I don't need help, I don't. It's not true. You always need help. It's not always financial. Someone can come into your life and impact you spiritually, emotionally. You see what I'm saying? So, number one is appreciate life, and number two, nurture the relationships in your life that is important to you.
Yeah, but you said something that I think one needs to also understand is coming from an African in a colored home, many of us are raised to be people pleasers. So when we
Trying
tell
to fit in.
people, yeah, we just tell people that you need to not be independent. Some of us don't have a choice. Until I could not take myself to the bathroom. I remember one time I came back from treatment, or I just had my breast surgery, and I literally wet myself with number two. I'm not gonna say it on here, but Dimpie, I wasn't even supposed to tell you this, but this is the reality of someone that has cancer. And in that moment, you don't want to kick someone when they're down. So, whoever you are, whatever you are going through, God will send the right people. Whether it's the immediate, whether, please do not stay in toxic environments because you think that you need people. Surround yourself with people that would benefit you in a positive way, because the last thing you need when you're going through the worst time of your life is someone to add to your struggle.
And you know what? Coming down to that, there's a saying that they say, like, a lot of people also, like, just think about it. You break your back for so much people, but then at the end of the day, who's gonna push the wheelchair for you? You get what I'm trying to say?
No, but that's important. Then you need to ask yourself,
And I
why
think,
am I breaking my back?
and
Because whose peace are you keeping?
I think taking from that, like the whole situation and the conversation is that love one another. Let's respect one another, and the thing that we call life, laat ons dit nie for granted vat nie, because
Yeah.
I always tell people also as well in my own private space and so that the
Yes.
things that we are actually taking for granted, there's someone out there crying for the same thing
Yes.
that you have, especially on a day-to-day basis. And
Yes.
me personally, if I were to encourage anyone, I'll just say that when you wake up each and every morning, be grateful for that, because there's people that didn't make it to
Oh,
that point.
yes.
You understand? You end up sleeping or waking up, no, she nog, sorry, we put it this way. He's kwaad, he's 1, 2, 3. That's mense wat eens gemaak het. Die tyd dat jy geslaap het, pikkel iemand from lewe. And I don't know if you guys seen or heard the story before, that every second there's a new baby being born, as well as every second there's someone that passes away. I don't know, is it true? Or do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That happens in that period of time. So it's just a matter of fact of being grateful, and just I want life is life. Yeah, sometimes it can do the most, but then just be grateful, because I don't think God, for any one of us sitting here, even you guys at the back, I don't think God will put you in a situation that He doesn't know how you're gonna get your way out.
I think what's important to understand is allow yourself to feel what you are feeling, but do
Yes.
not be stuck in that.
Okay.
Because we can't ignore what we're going through, because that's how we build up trauma, and that is how, statistically speaking, people that are diagnosed with cancer are the black sheeps of families. So they come from trauma. So I'm talking about abuse. I'm talking about issues with mental health from a young age. And neglect, right?
Neglect also. Oh,
My
okay.
part nou nog eens gaan koop ek is 'n Bushi podcast. Hy het
So
nou
it's
nog
those
eens
things
gaan koop from the first episode. Dimpie hates this part, but hy het nou nog gaan koop. Ja, hy het my nie gebel nie.
So those things actually do happen through those kind of things.
Oh
as
yes,
well.
stress is one of the main factors of immune deficient or immune diseases,
Failure
which is
or
cancer. No, so cancer, diabetes, and what else? But there's a lot of immune impacting diseases that comes from stress as one of the factors.
Okay, guys, we can continue the rest of the night if we want to. This one I'll end it off if it's fine by the team and you guys as well. I'll
Yes.
just say, like we said earlier on, that appreciate life, appreciate each other. And on this show is where we show love. That Shana, you welcome anytime you'd like to come. We'd like
Het jy
to
vir
have,
Justin gevra?
I would like to have another episode with you. Huh?
Ek worry.
Yes, yeah, I would like to have another episode where we even speak about it more and try to
We'll
educate
do a
people
part two.
more about
Just
it.
for
No, Shana?
you, I will do a part
And
two.
yeah, this is another episode of Bushi Podcast, guys. Please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, which is Bushi Podcast on TikTok, official Bushi Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Bushi Podcast, and also make sure that you subscribe on our YouTube channel to see more. It's Sharney Blackway in the building, Shana May, and your boy Dimpie Dimpopo, and we are out.